Good day, students. Today we are going to look at a question that first can look a bit intimidating, but once you understand this question, you will see that it's not that intimidating. Now, I am referring to table of contents and index. I'm going to use the question paper 12 November 2019, question 8 as an example. So let's get started with our question. Firstly, it tells us number 1, retrieve the file fiber optics that is saved in the Computer Practice N6 student files folder. We go and we retrieve our folder, and here you will see in your N6 12 November 2019 folder, I have fiber optics. We open it. Next instruction tells us, change the font of the document to Century Gothic 12 PT. This means it's for the whole document. Remember that you don't want to waste time, so you can go and click and highlight your document, but the best and fastest way is just to use your shortcut keys, Control A for all, I highlight all, I go to my font, and if you do not find your font nearby, we just start to key in the first letters of your font name. But mine is close by, I'm just going to click on it. Then I go to my size and I choose 12. Our next instruction tells us that the margins must be 2,54 centimeters or 1 inches. Now remember, it depends on your computer settings. I use inches, therefore I will say margins must be 1 inch. Now your margins is already 1 inch. If you want to go check it, let's just say layout and we say margins, and I can see all 4 of my margins is 1 inches. So I don't need to change them. Our next instruction tells us that we have to insert our examination number, computer number, and the question number as header, as indicated in the instructions. Now, remember that you have to look at your section B, the beginning of it, where they instruct you how to insert your headers and footers. Let's go insert our header. I'm going to double click on my header. You can open by whichever means you like. And I'm going, let's just type 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to put a bracket with my station number inside. And on my right hand side, it will say question space 8. Please check your spelling for question. And remember, it must be capital letters and a space. And your number, you have to type it as you see it in your question paper. Then remember, the font for your whole document must be Century Gothic, size 12. So please make sure that you change your headers and footers as well. Then our next instruction tells us, edit the document as indicated below and according to the proofreading signs. Now you are welcome to decide whichever method you want to use. Maybe you want a combination, maybe you like to first do all the instructions and then go to your document on the next page and then go do the rest of it. It's just your preference. I'll see as I go. Okay, so let's look at this instruction number 6. Retrieve the file advantages that is saved in the Computer Practice N6 student files folder and insert the file where indicated. Now where indicated means you have to go check where must I insert this file. And when I scroll down, you have to look for the instruction telling you to insert this document. Now do you see here after users, power transmission, other users, we have this instruction for page break, and it tells us insert the file advantages here as indicated below. So they want it over here. Okay, so let's go then to our documents. We go to the N6 Computer Practice November 2019 folder, and this is very important. When you have to copy information to another document, please do not right click and say copy. This is not how you copy. You have to open this document. Open it. Then you select whatever information they ask of you. In this case, they want this whole document to be selected. So I'm going to select my document. You can press Ctrl A as well. And then you're going to copy it and paste it. Now, they didn't instruct to you the font, but remember that they referred to this document of ours to have a font of Century Gothic. So let's change it immediately before you forget. Then I'm going to say copy. I'm going to close this document. Please do not cut, because maybe you need this document a bit later. So I'm going to just close it. I'm going to say no, because I don't want this font to be saved. Now let's just quickly go double check where must this be inserted. So after power transmission, other users, let's go see if we can find this position. There's power transmissions, other users. Now over here, let's just click and open up a space. And then you can just say paste or use your shortcut to insert your document. Now you will see there might be extra enters, so just remove them. And let's just go check over here, advantages, to make sure they are fine. Okay, it looks good. Let's go to our next instruction. Then it tells us insert page breaks where indicated. Now let's go down and check the page breaks. Now here you can decide, do I want to continue inserting page breaks first, or will I start from the top and do my editing? Now what I'll do is I'll start with my editing and we'll continue from there. It gives this little bracket and then it gives the instruction 16 pt, uppercase, bold, centered, text borders, shading. Now all of these instructions is for the table of contents heading. So let's go to our document and we go to table of contents. We highlight it. It told us 16. Now I must just go check again. It told us bold, center. Let me just make sure. To uppercase, bold, center. So we say uppercase. It says bold, already bold, and it says center. Now you can use your shortcuts if you like. Then it also gives two other instructions saying text borders, and it says shading. Now it doesn't specify anything for shading, so that means you can, I guess you, as long as you can say shade your work. Now first thing is we highlight the text, and then we go to borders. And I like, there's another method of going to layout, if I'm not mistaken. Design, I don't know. But let's stick to this one. I can remember now. We go to our borders. We go to borders and shading. Now, remember, we've got different types of borders. We've got the normal border and we've got our page border. Now, the first setting is none. Let's just choose box. Now, before I can continue, I need to check apply to the paragraph or apply to text. Now there is a difference between the two. Apply to paragraph means it will put a border from the left hand to the right hand border. Apply to text means only the text will have a border around it. Let's go check if there were specific instructions, and here you will see text borders, which is very important. Over here where it says apply to, make sure then that you select text. Also, they talked about shading. Over there, shading. Let's shade our text because we do it at the same place. Do you see over here it says shading? Now they did not specify which shading. Now please do not use something dark where you cannot see the text. I would suggest maybe using a 25% darker, for example. Not too light because then you can't see it, not too dark because then you can't see your text. I'm going to click on it. Now once again, before I click on OK, apply to. Do I want to apply it to my text or to my paragraph? Remember, paragraph means from the left to the right, and text means only around the text. Now they talked about text, so let's rather stick to text, and I'm going to say OK. Do you see now that only my text is selected by a border and it's got my shading just around my text? Now it tells us after the word table of contents, we have to enter 2 times. Now generate table of contents here. We're not at that position yet to generate the table of contents. And please do not key in this text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a page break. Now, if you have watched my videos before or in class, you will know that I prefer you to use your next page breaks, not a normal page break. I'm inserting a little bit more enters because when you just enter 2 times, you put in a page break, you have 1 too little enters. So I'm just putting in an extra 2 enter signs. Let's quickly insert our break. So break. Don't use page, we use a next page break. Now you will see it looks exactly the same as a normal page break. So over here, history is on our next page. Now let's go see history, the stars, don't worry about that. We'll look at it now. Over here under record speed, it tells us sort in ascending order according to year. Now let's quickly go to our Word document, record speed. Highlight only the text that must be sorted. Please do not include your heading. Do not include other document, other text that's not asked for. You can see that it asks only for this part. Now let's go sort. We say home. We say sort. Our paragraph. Let's just quickly go check again. Is it ascending or descending order? It tells us ascending order. So it's already ascending. And now it means that we want 2006 to start on top. So let's see what happens if I only click OK. Do you see now 2006, 9, 10, and 12 ascending order. Then over here, I'm going to scroll down. Let's see any other instructions. We have here the page break where we inserted our file advantages. Other users, let's go down, it's between them. Now I want advantages to go to the next page, so I'm going to click directly in front of advantages. I'm going to layout, breaks, next page. Then we go down, look for more instructions, and here principles of operation. Also needs a page break to be inserted. Principles of operation. I click directly in front of the text because I want this text to go to a next page. So layout, breaks, and I say next page. Then we go down again. Practical issues. Let's go look for this part. Practical issues. Over here, I click directly in front of the text. Oh, I'm going to go to breaks. I go to next page. And let's go back to instructions. Then I see practical issues, materials, and then I have a page break again. So cable construction, I want to go to next page. So only a small little piece for for this one page. Cable construction, let me just make sure. Yes, cable construction, I click directly in front of it and I go to my breaks. I say next page. Then we have it ending here at page break for index, and it also gives instructions 16 pt uppercase bold center, same instructions, text borders, shading. Okay, so let's go to index, go to the bottom, last instruction, click in front of index, we insert our break, next page. I'm going to highlight the text. So we already have it as bold. We have it as uppercase. Let me just quickly go double check. It says uppercase bold center and size 16. Uppercase bold center size 16. And then again, it asks for the borders, so I can just go. I go to my borders and shading. Let's just see, did they talk about text or did they specify something else? Text borders. So I'm going to say again, underneath borders, not page borders, borders, I say box. Before I continue, I must ensure that I choose the correct apply to, and it must be text. Before I click on OK, remember I need shading. I go choose my shading, and please remember to ensure that you say apply to text, and I say OK, and then you will see that this looks the same now as our table of contents. Just go back to the top of my document and see what other instructions I have. Did I do all of my instructions? I did that. Page breaks, page break. We inserted that file, and I accidentally lost my space. So here we've got that we've done, sorting. Okay, then I thought I saw this. Center this page vertically. So center the second page vertically. Now, because we have this special page break, this section break, it's easy now. We can just go to page 2. We highlight it. Remember not to include your breaks. And then we just go to our layout. We go to our page setup dialog box and we choose layout. Now I'm going to say vertical alignment top. Remember, it means my document, it starts on top. When I start keying in on this page, it must now start in the center. It means the top and the bottom margin will be equal. So if I click on OK, let's see if it did anything. No. Okay, let me just normal click. Sometimes I have to highlight. Sometimes I just need to click. Let's try again. I'm going to say center and I'm going to say OK. They changed. You will see now your top and your bottom margin is equal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom here. So you can see. Do you see now page 1, it starts on top, the vertical alignment. Page 2, my top and bottom margin is equal. Page 3, 4, 5, and so forth, it's again on top. So it's only page 2 that's now got your vertical alignment to the center. Okay, I'm just going to put it back on my zoom 100. Then we've done all of this. Now let's go back to our instructions. It tells us here now, insert page numbers at the top center in line with your examination number and the question number. Bold the page numbers. Now, okay, it says insert page numbers. Okay, so let's go do that. We're going to insert our page numbers now. We can do that, but remember in our table of contents, they normally give 3 instructions where they tell us to insert the page number. Then they like to tell us if there must be a page number on the first page or not. And then they like us to say at what page a certain page number must start. So you can insert the page number, and then when you find the instruction, you can go back if you like, and always update your table of contents as you continue, or you can just do it from the beginning. I normally prefer it from the beginning, but it's not wrong if you do it piece by piece. So it tells us quickly, let's quickly check. Insert page numbers at the top center in line with your examination number and the question number. Bold the page numbers. So let's do that. Now there is different ways of inserting a page number. You must please do the method that you feel most comfortable with. I am not going to use the method of insert page numbers because this method removes your headers and footers. If I say insert page number and I say top of page, center, it will remove my header. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. You have the option of using your insert and using your quick parts. Now people, you are in 6 now. I'm not going to mess with the page numbering options you have been taught. So I'm going to use the quick parts method for this example. What you do is when you use quick parts, you have to first place your cursor where the page number must be inserted. That means it said that you have to insert a page number at the top center in line with your examination number. That means I have to open my header because this is where they instruct me. They say at the top center in line with your examination and question number. This is over here. Then I'm going to insert my page number. You can stay in the header and footer because we are already here, okay? Or you could have just said insert and you could have gone to quick parts over here. But you will see in your header and footer, there's also the quick parts option. Now there is a previous time that I have explained page numbers and I have explained this method. So what we do is we just click on quick parts. Then I choose field. Now what do I want to insert? I want to insert a page number. So I press P for page. They didn't specify a format, so I'm just using the normal format. I click on it and I say OK. Now do you see with this method, it does not remove my header and footer. The next instruction they also gave me, they told me I have to make my page number bold. So I'm going to highlight my page number and I'm going to say bold. Now I would like to first continue with my other instructions for my page number as well. Remember, you always will have more than one instruction for your page number. Go look for it. You will see then that we have to, let's just go down. We have to go to 10.2. Manipulation of the first page, table of contents. They tell you, do not show a page number on this page. Now I'll do that one with you just now. Always go check if they ask you to start at, your page number to start at. So we go down, normally it will be on manipulation of the second page, normally, okay? So we see here 11.1, the page number must start at 10. Which page number? The second page must start at 10. That means that your first page must start at 9. Now let's go look. What I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight my page number 1. Remember they said page 2 must start at 10. That means page 1 must start at 9. Now all we do is we go here to our page number. Now if we want to change something, it means we want to format it. And here we can see format page number. I'm going to select it. And over here, do you see it gives the option start at? I want this page number 1, to start at 9. I'm just going to type it in, or you can just click up or down. Now remember, we want page number 1 to be page 9 because the second page must be page 10. I'm going to say okay. Then we have to remember, okay, let me just show you. There's page 9 and there's page number 10 and so forth. Now remember, they gave us an instruction for your first page. They told us that, let's just go up. They told us that this first page, manipulation of the first page, table of contents, they told us do not show a page number on this page. Now they can also talk about omit. That means leave it out. Or suppress. That also means do not show. Okay. Now they tell us do not show a page number on this page. All you do is, in Microsoft Word, you will see over here, different first page. You want your first page to look different from your other pages. Now when you select this option, it will remove your headers and footers as well. You can choose to copy your information before the time and then select this option and then it will disappear. Okay, so doesn't matter, however you prefer. I'm going to click on it to show you what happens. So different first page, you can see over here we still have our examination number, we've got our page number, we've got question number. Remember, you can't just delete number 9 because it will delete all page numbers. So that's why we're using this different first page method. I'm going to click different first page. Do you see now my header has disappeared? And when I go down, you see page 10, page 11, and so forth will still have their headers on. I'm going to just highlight the first one because normally you don't want to make a mistake with your, not normally, you don't want to make a mistake with your ID number. I'm going to paste my ID number, press tab, and type in the word question 8. Okay, so what we see now is the first page. We have omitted the number, we have left it out, we have suppressed it. Same thing. Page number is not displayed on your first page now. When you go down, you see there's page 10, page 11, and so on. Then let's check over here. We see we've done the insert page numbers, so we are at number 9 now. Apply the following styles. 9.1. Modify heading 1 as follows. Font, Rockwell 12 PT. Font color, automatic black. Bold, capital letters. And then they tell us paragraph, center, spacing before and after, 0. Now let's look at this. Firstly, remember when they talk about levels, level 1 it indicates the first star. Remember our question 8 that we've done? It's the same principle. This one is a bit different. Normally, they would ask you to retrieve the previous question you have done. And with the method we have used previously, you will see that we already indicated level 1, level 2, level 3, and so forth. Okay, we only have up to level 4, but yeah, so up to level 4. In this question, they ask you to mark all the level 1 history, all the level 1s, the 1 stars, for example, history, to change its font. Okay, so over here, let's go up. They tell us modify the heading 1 as follows. Now let's go here to our Word document. I'm going to firstly select only the first one, history. Let me just go out of my header. Okay, so the first one, history, I'm going to highlight it. I just prefer it like this. Now remember, they said the word, this word is important. They said modify heading 1 as follows. Modify means change. Now I'm going to go here to history. Do you see here's heading 1? I'm going to right click on it. And do you see here's the option to modify. I'm not going to change my name. You can do changes over here, or you can just directly go to format and go to font. Now let's just quickly go double check. What did they ask of us? They asked us that the font should be Rockwell 12 PT. Font is automatic or black. So Rockwell 12 PT. Type it in, Rockwell. And then we've got 12 PT. They asked for bold. Okay, let's just go back again. Over here, they say Rockwell 12 PT, automatic, bold, capital letters. Automatic, bold, capital letters. Okay, so we've got bold, automatic for color, and then we want all caps, capital letters. Going to say okay. Then over here, they asked for the paragraph. It must be center, spacing before and after must be 0. So let's go back and we say format. Do you see here it also talks about paragraph? I'm going to select paragraph. It is level 1. I'm going to leave it as level 1. They tell us that the alignment, remember they said center, so I'm going to change left alignment to center. And then they said that the spacing before and after must be 0. So we have 0. I'm going to say okay. And okay. You could also change it over here for center if you are not sure where to change to center. Let me say okay. Now, what I'm going to do, you see over here, history did not change. Now, what I need to do is I am going to highlight. I just like to do it this way. I'm going to highlight all the level 1s. Now, you have your question paper in front of you, which makes it easy. You will have all your level 1s that you're going to highlight. Let's go to Word. We have history. I'm going to press Control, highlight, users, Control and highlight. And then I'm going to go down. Those are level 2s. Advantages. I'm going to again highlight for level 1 because they said all level 1 headings we have to change now. I'm going to highlight principles and then practical. Then we go down to cable, Control highlight. And then when you check your last page, you will see it's index. Please, there's no star in front of index. Please do not highlight text if it's not indicated. You will see index does not have a star in front of it. Now remember, let me just go to the top again. What did they say? They said Modify heading 1 as follows. We've applied all this formatting, and then 9.2 tells you apply heading 1 to all paragraph headings marked with 1 star. I'm going to go now, and I'm just going to click, let me just go to the top. You'll see all my level 1s, we have highlighted it. Okay, so now I'm just going to click on this one saying heading 1. And when I click on it, you will see all of your text now will be changed according to that style. So we have history, record, users, advantages, and so forth. They have changed. And remember, it said level 1. So now if I go to paragraph, do you see it says level 1? It changed it for you because that was the style for all the level 1s. So it applied all level 1s, or it applied all of these ticks now as level 1. Now let's go check level 2. I'm going to highlight my first level 2 option, which is communication. And remember, they say modify. So again, modify heading 2 as follows, and they give instructions. We will then go to our Word document. Here where it says heading 2, we right click, we say modify. Then we're going to go to format font because they want us to change our font to Rockwell 12. Font color automatic. So let's go to type in the word Rockwell 12. Let's see, it says 13. I'm going to change to 12. Let's just check any other formatting. It tells us that it must be underlined. Now when I check over here, I don't see underlinement. But do you see here underline style? We just have it here. Choose your normal underline. Let's check for another instruction for our font. We see we've done all of them. Rockwell 12, font color automatic, underline. Now just ask for the paragraph, alignment left, and they tell us spacing before and after, 0. We go back to our Word document. So we are done in font. I'm just going to say OK. I'm going back to format, paragraph as per instruction. They want my level 2s to be left. And here they say spacing before and after. Remember, it should be 0. So I'm going to make this one 0. I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to say OK. Now, you see nothing happened yet. Firstly, I'm going to select all my level 2s. The 2 stars. I'm going to go down. I'm going to say broad, immunity low, electrical, material, security. It's just a lot of manipulation. It's not that it's really that difficult. It's just that you have to read. Oh, not this one. Oh, goodness. Okay, we'll just remove that one just now. Achania. Let me just go closer by. I'll remove those just now. Change it back. And then we have material. Should actually just use a mouse and not the keyboard as on-screen one. Then we have termination, free, fiber, and chromatic. And I think we end over here. Okay, so now we just go back and we say heading 2. Now when I click on it, you see then it applies all that instruction, and you can see this is level 2. Level 1, level 2. You know about levels now, so this will make sense to you. Let me just quickly check there where I'm not supposed to have those levels. This one, I don't want it. I'm going to say normal. Let me just change my font again. Rockwell. Okay. Oh, this one as well. And not Rockwell. No, it worked correct. Let me just say undo. Okay. No, I see now what happened. Okay, but all I do is I highlight and I put it back on that Gothic one, Sanctuary Gothic. And this one as well. I'm just going to say normal, and I'm just going to change it back to Century. Oh, just make sure that you do not highlight extra ones, then it's much easier. Don't worry about indenting. We're not going to print this whole document. Okay, so now we have done all of this. Let's go back to our instructions. Apply heading 2 to all the subparagraph headings marked with 2. I've done that. I was supposed to first read the instructions, but we just knew now what to do now. So now let's go check. Manipulation of first page or table of contents. Change the text, table of contents to 16 pt, capital letters, bold and center. Insert text borders around the text margin to margin. You see here now it says margin to margin. Okay, just remember what we did. So you can just put it margin to margin. Then let's check. Number 10.2. Do not show a page number. We've done that one. 10.3. Mark the following headings for the table of contents. All headings marked with 1 star and 2 stars. Now remember, when we went and we highlighted and indicated heading 1 for each of the heading 1s and heading 2 for each of the level 2s, it already changed your levels. You see, if I click over here at history, I go to paragraph, do you see it already indicates level 1? So I don't need to go mark again. If I go to, let's say, to census, if I click and I say paragraph, do you see it already shows level 2? So our text, we have marked it already. So we don't need to worry about marking the text. Now 10.4 tells you generate the table of contents, and then it tells you always have to go check your options. Page numbers must be right aligned with tab leader lines. And we've got ensure that there is a page break at the end of the table of contents. Now we have to, when we insert a table of contents, you have to make sure that you don't just click anywhere and then go to references and insert your table of contents, because it will insert there where your cursor is. That means you have to make sure that you go to the top, click at the correct position, go to table of contents, custom table of contents, show page numbers. We have our leader dots. They tell you it must be a leader line, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just quickly check again. Page numbers must be right aligned with tab leader lines. Okay, so leader lines. Then over here, remember we only have 2 levels. So let's remove level 3. We just say level 2. We add level 1, level 2. And then we just say okay. And that is it. There it inserts your table of contents for you. It's got your numbers, level 1, level 2, and it gives the correct page number. Page 10 for history. Let's go down and check. This is page 10. And there you see history. So nice and easy, straightforward. Let's check your other instructions. We go down, we say 11. This page number must start at 10. We've done that. It tells us that center this page vertically. We've done that. It says sort the page, the paragraphs as indicated. We've done that. And 11.4 tells you update the table of contents if necessary. Why they give this instruction is if you maybe did not change your page numbers, you left it as 1, 2, 3, 4 and so forth, and then insert your table of contents, then the table of contents numbers will be incorrect. Then all you can do is just go change your page number and just update your table of contents. But ours is correct, so we don't need to worry about that. Now number 12 tells us manipulation of the last page, the index. That means we have to now go down to our index. which is the last page. Let's go down. Right at the end, I'm going to click. Then it tells us that we have to, okay, again it says the borders around the text, and it says margin to margin. You can just fix that. Apply a light gray shading. We've done that. Then 12.2 tells you leave 2 line spaces after the heading index and generate the index with the words below. Do not include references to the table of contents. Use only main entries. Now I will show you how to manipulate that. I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible. So we will just manipulate at the end. Now the first word they want you to include in your index is the word light. Now we want to find this word light. How do we find a word? Okay, because we're going to use this option, I'm just going to go right to the top. Let's start here. History. I'm going to start over here. If I want to find a word, I go home and I like to directly go to replace, and then I will go to find. Find what? I want to find the word light. So I'm going to type in light. Then I want to find this word light. So I'm going to say find next. Click on find next. Do you see there the word light is now highlighted? Then I go to this tab, references. Over here, I want to mark this index. You see we are busy with index. So I'm going to say mark entry. I want to mark this entry for light. So I click mark entry. Do you see now? I'm just going to move this a bit. Do you see now it says main entry light? Okay, now I'm going to click on mark all. I'll show you later how we will manipulate. I'm going to say mark all. It means everywhere where this word light appears in my document, it will be marked. Now I'm not done. I want the next word, which is transmission. Now all I do in my Word document, I do not close this. I go back to the word, to the box find. What do I want to find? What's now manipulation? Let me just see. Oh no, transmission, something totally different. Transmission. So where light is highlighted, I'm going to type in the word transmission. Okay, now do you see light is still highlighted? I'm going to say find next. And do you see there the word transmission is now highlighted? Now I want to mark my entries. So I just click back on this box that says mark index entry. So I'm clicking on it. And do you see by itself, it will change to transmission, the same word. I'm going to say mark all. Then I'm going to click back, find what, highlight my text. What is the next word I want to find? The next word is optical fiber. Let's type in the word optical fiber in find what. Let me just highlight it again. Optical fiber. Now, if I forget to click on find next, look what will happen. If I directly go to my mark entry, do you see now transmission isn't changing? Then all it means is I did not click on find next. So I'm going to go back to my find and replace. When I say find next, do you see now it highlights this word optical fiber? And now if I click on my mark index entry, when I click on it, do you see now it changes? So all it means is if you typed in a word to find and you click on your mark index entry and it did not change, then it just means you didn't click on find next. So all you do is go back, click on find next, come back here, and you will see the word changes now. They are the same. I'm going to say mark all. Let's check the next word. It is distance. Now always remember to check your spelling as well. If you do not find a word, it can be that your spelling is incorrect this time. So if I say find next, it says, we searched the selection and could not find any matches. Do you want to check the rest of your document? Now this can mean that, remember we are searching down. It can mean that from here onwards that there's no word distance. So if you say yes, do you see now it finds this word distance. Now all I can do now is I can just click on my mark entry box. So you see it finds it now, main entry. I say mark all. I go back to find what. Here we've got applications. Let's type in applications. In our find what, applications, I say find next. Remember to say find next. It says it cannot find this word. Must I start from the beginning? I say yes. Do you see that it finds it? I click back in mark entry. You see it's just back and forth the whole time. Mark all. I go back to my find and replace. I go to my document and I check the next word is a census. Let's go and type in census. Sensors. I say find next. We finish searching the document. Let's say again. Let me just move this one. Find next. There it is, census. I go back to mark entry. It changes. Mark all. Go back. And then last one, cables. Let's go type in cables. Find what? Cables. Oops. Cables. And I'm going to say find next. It found the word cables. Click back, main entry, changes it. I say mark all. Now, do you see we are at the end now of these words? What I'm going to do now, I'm going to close my mark entry. I'm going to close or cancel my find and replace. Then our instruction will tell us that we have to insert our index. Tells us we have to put in page numbers, must be right aligned with tab leader lines, use 2 columns. Now let's go to our document. Remember, you can't just go and insert your index. You have to position your cursor at the correct place, there where you want your index to be inserted. So I'm going to go down, it's close by, we have entered twice. I'm going to click. Now I want to insert my index, so I'm going to say insert index in my reference tab. Insert index. Now don't just click on OK. Remember they gave instructions, we just saw. It told us page numbers must be right aligned. Let's check it. Right aligned page numbers. Then it tells us with tab leader lines. So it must be leader lines. So I'm going to choose my type leader line. Then always check how many columns. They may ask for 1, 2, or even 3 columns. So let's go check. And they tell us use 2 columns. I'm going to go to 2 columns then. 2. And let's see, any other instructions? No, not yet. Let's say OK. Now remember they said do not include your table of contents. We just want the original ones. Do you see over here? We've got number 9 over here. So we're just going to manipulate it. I'm going to click and I'm just going to remove number 9. Over here, I can see there's extra space, which the others do not have. My fonts, let me just check them. Korean New, I'm going to change. I'm going to highlight everything. And I'm just going to change my font. Why did it change? Doesn't matter. We're going to fix it. Century 12. Okay, looks beautiful. You can see it's right aligned, leader lines. Then it tells us to save this document. Always remember to save, please. Question 8, optics TOC. Going to say file, save as. Click it, save as. It tells us I'm already at the correct position. It wants me to save it as what? Question, my memory. Let me see. Question 8, optics TOC. Question 8. Question 8, optics TOC. And you say save. You can see it's in my correct folder. I'm going to say save. Now this last instruction I would like to focus on. They tell us over here, print only the following 3 pages. The first page, table of contents, the second page, page 10, and the last page, index. You will be penalized if you print any other pages. Place the printouts in your examination folder. Also, please remember to put it in the correct order. Now, it is so easy to print only the pages that they ask. Don't just go and print everything. You go to the top. You click on the page you want to print. Even this one's our font. Let's just change it. Let's see if I can do it just like this. I'm going to say Centua. Okay, so what we do is I click on my first page, the table of contents. I say file, print. Mine is not connected at this moment, but I'm sure I will still, yes, I'm still able to show you. On this settings, it says print all. Now, I don't want to print all. I just want to print this current document. The first one for my table of contents. So I'm going to click here where it says print all, and I'm going to say print current page. Then I'm going to click on print. This means it will only print this page. Then I go back, I go to my next instruction, which told us that we have to go to page 10. You see this is page 10. I click on this page. Inside this document, I click, I go to file, I go to print, or you can just say Control P, and it already said print current page, just this page, and I'm going to click on print. That will be your second page that comes out. Then I go to my last page, go right to the bottom to your index. Please do not print all. Where are you? There's my index, my last page. I click. I'm just going to remove this one enter sign because you see this is already an enter. Enter 1, 2 times. I'm going to go to file, print, and again it says print current page. So I'm going to say print. This means it will only print your first page, table of contents. Then next it will be your page 10. And lastly, it will be your index. Make sure you put it in the correct order, and then you can save again if you like. You don't need to, but you can click on save, and then you can close your document. I hope this made your table of contents a bit clearer. And with this, I'm going to greet you. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.